Thank you so much. Thank you guys for waiting. Mahima, big thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We miss you. Do you
do?
miss us?
Yes, when I get the time, I do. But I keep looking out for you, both you and my other friends, I've known him since he was in his diapers. So, yeah, so I keep watching out for you. And if I'm scrolling and I see you doing interviews, I stop and I watch.
That's very sweet. Thank you. Also, that means you're scrolling. What do you like? What do you like about social media?
I like the fact that everyone can speak their minds out. You get to know about what everyone is putting out there. They may have missed a flight, something may have gone wrong, they may have got scammed, and I'm living under the rock, so a lot of times I don't have time to socialize, so I keep myself updated. To the extent that now my daughter says, when I say, you know, you should eat this after this, and she says, yeah, so who told you this? Instagram. So my knowledge is so limited, you know, to what I'm seeing out there. So yes, and sometimes it can get time consuming, but most of the time I find it informative.
Right. Your daughter is loved very much. What do you learn from your daughter?
God bless you for saying that. What do I learn from her? Discipline, which I don't have. No, honestly, I think most of us in the 90s don't have discipline. No, we just took it because we got rewarded for being spontaneous. Anything I did spontaneously, even a scene, turned out better. When I picked a film spontaneously without thinking of pros and cons, it went on to be a success. So I started believing that, you know, there is nothing in planning and doing.
Yeah.
So now I find that I learned discipline from her.
Nice.
Yes.
That's really good. You know, I hope the younger actors are watching this. Be spontaneous, guys. Sometimes just do that. Let us ask some questions and let's do it the 90s way. Right. So your film is coming, दुर्लभ प्रसाद की दूसरी शादी.
Yeah.
तो ये कब शूट की? ये क्या है exactly? बताइए.
ये हमने 1.5 साल से थोड़ा ज़्यादा देर पहले शूट की थी और ये obviously now everybody believes in second chances. बहुत सारी दूसरी शादियाँ हो रही हैं तो अब दुर्लभ ने सोचा है कि उसकी भी शादी होनी चाहिए और खुद नहीं सोचा उसने उसकी शादी के लिए उसकी फैमिली का प्रेशर है कि तुम दूसरी शादी कर लो.
अच्छा.
तो ये उसकी कहानी है और क्योंकि ये संजय मिश्रा जी के साथ है, ही इज़ अ ब्रिलियंट एक्टर, तो लोगों को पोस्टर देख के हंसी आ रही है. मैं उम्मीद कर रही हूँ कि फिल्म आप लोगों को पसंद आए.
Right. You know, you've done incredible work that has made an impact and made you a name that you're here, we are talking to you. What decision in your mind goes, like there was a thought that goes in your mind where you say, okay, I'll do this, I'll come back and I'll come back with this?
Oh no, I don't have so much choice. I just take whatever comes my way.
Right.
Honestly, really. I think Mr. Anupam Kher is responsible, you know, for getting me back into working mode. He got me into Signature, and then he was on set with Kangana for Emergency, and then Kangana heard that I was working and called me for the only female part in Emergency beside hers. And then that made little news, and so this film for Durlabh Prasad came my way. So, and also for Dharma, me and Sunil Shetty were in Nadania. So I've luckily got good stuff to do so far, and I've done it all. So anybody who comes, I guess I'll take it up.
Right. You know, when you say yes to a Nadania, when you say yes to a Durlabh, when you're on that set, what is very different on the set now? That you were like, I wish we had all this back then.
I'll give you an example of Dharma Productions.
Sure.
They had a stylist and they had a makeup artist team. Like an assistant had an assistant, had an assistant, had an assistant, and a lot of the production team, even the production manager was a female. So there's a lot of change in the fact that there are a lot of women in production, in the makeup team, in the hairdressing team, in the styling, in direction, camera, a lot. When we were there, everyone were males. Only the hairdresser was a female. Can you imagine? There was only one woman besides you if it was just a song on set. Everybody else was male.
That's really...
So that was so refreshing to have so many women. And the other thing was that everything is taken care of. I remember I was on set, and this was the first day of the poster shoot of Dharma's Nadaniya, and I took 2 suitcases of my own clothes. Although we had done a trial and a fitting for the film, I bought some more costumes which I think would suit my character, accessories, shoes, all of it. And I didn't end up using any of it, but this is how we were taught to prepare to be on set. And while we were shooting, I went to Dia Mirza's van, and a beautiful sari was bought by the dressing team, and I was like, wow, beautiful. And she goes, yeah, it's my personal. I've carried some of my clothes. So we all do this, I realize.
Wow, yeah,
we continue to do this. And today people don't need to. You have everyone helping you out. Like even today, how I got ready, I continue to do that. I just wore my sari and did my hair and walked out and did my makeup in the car. Wow. And I didn't have anyone here to settle me up for the shot. So if I look shabby, that's it.
You don't look shabby ever, not at all. But also apart from that, you all sometimes did two movies to double shifts as well.
Yes.
Because now it's unheard. It's unheard. People want to do an 8-hour shift and they want to go home because that's apparently the new order of the day. Sometimes you do think that how did we pull that off?
Yeah, there were no rules. There were no laws in place. Now I think you can't get anybody to work more than 9 or 12 hours. I don't know how much it is. And there is a contract. When we were there was no contract. In fact, I was from the advertising world. I had done a lot of ads. So when I was signing my first film and I was reading every line that Mr. Ghai gave me of the contract, and I was like, ye kyun hai, ye kyun hai? He's like, just sign it. Ye contract, we really don't go by all this,
right.
So, and I was the one who insisted on it. I was like, today we were supposed to sign the contract and you're going away to Madras for a meeting. And he says, आज तक मैंने दिलीप साहब के साथ कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन नहीं किया, राजकुमार के साथ नहीं किया, तुमको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट चाहिए, मैंने बोल दिया तुम फिल्म में हो. So they took it as an insult if you asked them for a contract. Yeah, that such big people have worked with me and they've not asked me, and you come around and you want to have a contract. So that's how it was.
But it's amazing that, with no contracts, no rules of how many hours you all will shoot, you all made brilliant films. Like everybody at that time, all these films were made at that time that we, now praise and become cult films. Like, see, look at all these posters behind. It's amazing that you all did this. जब ये सब आप लोग के पास ना कोई वैनिटी वैन्स थी, ना कोई मॉनिटर्स थे इतने देखने के लिए, ना कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स थे. Sometimes you do think ये सब, how did we pull this off?
I know we depended a lot on what the cameraman said or director said. मैं ठीक लग रही हूँ, because monitors came in much later, and especially outdoors there were no monitors. They started in the studios and then sometimes they wouldn't carry it abroad, and a lot of dubbing used to happen. Now they dub very small portions.
Yeah.
But
तो कभी ऐसा होता ना, आप एक सेट पे एक शूट कर रही हैं, फिर फटाफट इवनिंग या नाइट शिफ्ट आप चेंज करके just अलग गेटअप, अलग मेकअप करके कोई और सेट पे गई?
Yeah. There was a very famous studio in Hyderabad, Ramoji Rao. हाँ. तो I shot in Ramoji Rao for Lajja in the night because दिन के टाइम बहुत गर्मी होती थी, तो पंडाल ऐसी जगह लगा था. and it was a tin roof and there was no AC, so they said let's do night shoots. So मैं वो पूरा शादी का सीक्वेंस था, वो रात को शूट करते थे. जैसे ही सुबह होती थी फ्लाइट लेके बॉम्बे आते थे, बॉम्बे में मॉर्निंग शिफ्ट करते थे, फिर जाते थे. बिकॉज लज्जा का जो शूटिंग था, बिकॉज इट वॉज सो हॉट, वी couldn't shoot for few days, so it spilled on to the other film.
My God.
So we adjusted.
How many days did you do this up and down?
7 days.
7 days रोज फ्लाइट लेके बॉम्बे,
हाँ.
रोज फ्लाइट लेके हैदराबाद. Wow.
और उसमें वो I had very long dialogues.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. But it turned out nice.
Right. You know what I miss is, I have a rapport with her. I know her for so many years, and we made that rapport at that time. We worked, we did interviews and all that, and I could call her directly. She was upset or happy, she could call me and tell me directly. Mahima, this is what is missing in today's generation. I know all of them, and they are lovely kids, and they are beautiful people. They come from very good families, but there's no intention or initiative. They don't care of having a one-on-one. No, I'm not saying with me, with anyone. Now, is that a good thing? Should we see it, or is this how it is? We just have to live with it. They don't want a rapport with anyone.
I don't know if it's a good thing. I like to be in direct communication with whoever I'm working or whoever I'm going to talk to. I don't like too many layers because it, I think, takes too much time for me to take a decision. What time should we schedule the interview? Somebody will text me and I'll be like, I'm busy between 6 and 7. Can it be 8? Can it be 8? Can it? You know, like the communication for me takes very long. I don't know, maybe they have fallen into a system that is already like that, and since there are people around them, they want to justify what they are there for.
Right.
And so they hold a lot of power within themselves and don't allow you access to the actor.
Right.
I don't know, it could be that.
Yeah. You know, पहले जब release हो रही होती थी, one day before, what was your Thursday night like? Were you someone who would get nervous about a release, wake up, read reviews, go to the theaters?
Most of the films, I mean, apart from your first film where you can never tell how you will be accepted or whether you'll be not accepted. After that, you more or less can tell about a film, whether it's a nice film. I only worried whether it was a good film or a shabby film. Because in the 90s, we did do some films because somebody told us, or they were very senior in the industry, out of respect, you know, all that. Which I don't see people do that now.
Yeah, they don't do that.
For example, when Ravi ji called me for Baghban, I had no intention of doing Baghban. Because he said, आपका और सलमान खान का एक गेस्ट अपीयरेंस है, एंड मैं इतने गेस्ट अपीयरेंस कर चुकी थी कि लोगों को लगता था इसको एक गाने में डाल दो, पिक्चर हिट हो जाती है. इट वॉज वेरी नाइस टू बी कंसिडर लकी मैस्कॉट, बट मुझे फिर वो एक एक दो दो सीन और 4 एक गाना मिल रहा था, तो I was very reluctant. But because Ravi sir called me, and obviously the Ravi Chopra, B.R. Chopra, you know, very respected in the industry. I said, he says, मैं आता हूँ मिलने. I said, नहीं सर, मैं आती हूँ ऑफिस में. तो मैं गई उनको मना करने के लिए, but मेरे से मना नहीं हुआ. Because I went directly, and my secretary, at that time we had secretaries, he says, मैं मना कर देता हूँ. I was like, नहीं, कर लेते हैं, it's okay. सबकी पिक्चर कर ली, इनकी भी कर लेते हैं. And I'm so happy today. Because so many things happened. I got to work with Mr. Bachchan.
Right.
Until today, it has such a great shelf life, Baghban.
Yeah.
I go places and people say, oh, I love Baghban, I love that song, I love that song, I love that song. So sometimes good comes out of it, but yeah, this is how it worked out.
It's nice how you all did so much for relationships and friendships and respect. You know, today also we are in 2025, and you started with Shah Rukh Khan. You know, there are people, even today people would give an arm and leg for that कि यार हमारे को एक film Shah Rukh Khan के साथ मिल जाए. What was the magic at that time? Because you and Shah Rukh worked wonderfully together.
Oh, he was a huge star. So many films had happened back to back. Deewane and Bazigar and Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge had just happened. So he was a huge star, and at that time we were crushing on him. So it was nerve-wracking to say dialogues in front of him and in your first film. So Yeah, it was difficult and it was extremely lucky. Now when I look back, I thank my stars and I wonder what I did right, or I don't know, maybe it was my parents' blessings. I don't know what got me there.
Wow. Are you open to OTT? Because everybody is making OTT web series. It's a great time for actors like you. There are very good roles written for women, strong characters. So many of them are doing well. Are you open to that? Does that excite you?
I think all actors are open to any kind of work, especially if it is, you know, with a great team. It doesn't matter what the platform is today. People are making short films and putting it on YouTube, and people are starting their own YouTube channels and doing talk shows and doing all kinds of things around creativity. So I don't think so. The platform matters. It's just good role, good stories, and I really like the comedy genre the most because, you know, it's like you have fun twice, once while reading and then once while making the film and then once while watching the film. I just like comedy a lot.
You know, today everyone with a phone is a reviewer. That time, how powerful were reviews? Would a Khalid Mohammed review and a Rajiv Masan review, would you get worked up if it didn't go your way, and would you be really celebrating if it did?
Rajiv Vasan was obviously one of your age group, so it didn't matter. Rajiv, your review didn't matter during my time. No, it did, but it was, yes, Khalid Mohammed at that time. I remember he gave me a great review, and I think that did hold a lot of value around with people and myself as well. And from the very beginning, I had trained myself to you know, not regard much if people gave me a bad review. So there were one or two very mean ones, and yeah, it did bother me a little bit, but
Right.
I won't mention who.
Right, right. You know, what about आजकल सब कहते हैं to get work, it's just not enough that you're a good actor. You have to network, you have to be in the system, you have to have managers. Is it a trap that you are staying away from, or do you think it is important? You have to do that at some point.
When you're working, you feel none of this matters, but when you're not working, you start wondering what you really need to get there. So I guess it's a little bit of both.
Right. One thing I have to say that your generation, you all worked, you all got the fame. Today's generation who are actors got the fame, now they're finding work. Some are getting, some are not getting. Very big difference. What would be someone's advice who's seen fame and who's done the work?
Wow. I think both is good. When you do work and you're known, or you're known and then you're looking for work. Both is good, so long as you keep getting work. Yeah, today it's easier to be known first, right? So yeah, it's good for people who are coming from outside to get themselves out there, because during our time it was just word of mouth or photographs that traveled, which was a very slow process. We had no access to the film industry. If I hadn't done VJing on television, I don't think directors would have known of me and even given me a screen test or called me to the office. So today, that VJing job that I got on television was what got me into the industry. That is equivalent to being on social media, I guess.
Wow.
You know, to get the eyeballs and attention of the people in the film industry.
Right. You know, when it comes, you know, with actors like you, everybody will feel they know you very well. I also think I know you very well. But even in this room, they'll think, Mahima is good in this. Mahima is good in comedy. Mahima is good in a family film. What do you think you are best at and you enjoy on the set?
I enjoy comedy. But whenever I meet people, they say they like me in drama, and they say, "Ma'am, आपका वो रोने वाला scene, आप रोते हुए बहुत अच्छे लगते हो," and I get tired doing drama. You know, crying scenes में मैं थक जाती हूँ, and you know, it just makes you feel very heavy at the end of the day. But I love comedy. I like comedy, I like action. Now though it's difficult maybe for me to do action, but I enjoyed, one of the films that I loved doing was the one with Akshay Kumar called Khiladi. You know his Khiladi series?
Yeah.
I did 420, where I was the Khiladi and he was the 420. He was playing himself. So I loved that film, and it was written by Neeraj Vora.
Yeah, very talented.
What a funny man. What a funny man. I enjoyed that film. I also enjoyed doing Ye Tera Ghar, Ye Mera Ghar with Priyadarshan. That was also Neeraj Vora.
Yeah.
So I like comedy and action.
Wow. We have time for one or two questions. If anyone has a question, raise your hand and we'll get you a mic. And yeah, let's do this. Yes. Yeah, please give him the mic.
Yeah, hi Mahima.
Hi.
Looking forward to see you back on the screen.
Thank you.
I just have one question for you. At what moment did you feel that I want to do a comeback?
I never felt like leaving. So, you know, with today's opportunities for actors, if you're not in cinema, you're still doing other things. I hosted some television shows, judging, and we did a lot of live entertainment, did a lot of world tours, shows, events. Yeah, but I hadn't sort of acted, but I was always looking to. So it never felt like this was the moment when I will decide to come back. It just so happened that I used to run into Mr. Anupam Kher a lot, and this time he had a film offer in his head, and he just told me, will you do it? It was just unfortunate. I was in the midst of my treatment at that time. So I was like, nahi, picture aayi bhi to kab aayi? तो मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि you know जब री-एंट्री होगी उस टाइम पे I thought बड़ा वर्कआउट करके you know बिकिनी बोर्ड बना के एंट्री करेंगे. I made a re-entry with no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. You know, it was just unthinkable that my life will go that way. But I look at it positively, that it had to happen this way. You know, nothing goes as planned, but whenever an opportunity comes, you may not be ready. A lot of people say be ready, but even if you're not ready, take up the opportunity. You know, मैंने बहुत actors को यहाँ भी और विदेश में भी सुना है. They were asked, you know, horse riding, right? And they all said, yeah. And they went for it and they got the part. Like Mr. Subhash Ghai himself said, I was doing a scene and the director said, गाड़ी आती है ना? हाँ. तो he's saying, ऐसे गाड़ी को लाना और stop करना. And he says, मैंने उसको set के अंदर घुसा दिया. You know? So a lot of people say yes when they're not ready. Say yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. You have a question? Can we get front row? Yeah. Okay, sure. Please ask, then we'll get it. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. You're looking very gorgeous tonight.
Thank you.
So my question is, what's your best memory from Pardes you'll never forget?
That's a timeless movie. It's a great question. Yeah.
I think there's so many good memories there, but I remember अब तो लोग बहुत holiday करते हैं, you know. You all travel a lot. You all have access to a lot more income because you all start earning faster. Travel has become a lot cheaper. When we reached the US, तब विदेश में इतनी फिल्में शूट नहीं होती थी. Pardes was one of the first few films. You know, Yash Ji was the one who started going abroad to shoot. And when we reached there, 90% of the people के लिए वो first out of the country trip था. You know, so that sweetness, I saw people go, touch the floor, look at the world with amazement. वो escalators में बार-बार जा रहे थे, आ रहे थे. They were just so fascinated by being in America, and it was like, you know, we never thought we would come outside the country, whether it was the production guys or some of the actors. So that thrill of experiencing a new world together was amazing. I thought it was nice. Yeah,
how many of y'all have been abroad? Just raise your hand. Just how many of y'all? See, that's the big difference. Like almost everybody here in this room at some point has gone somewhere. Yeah, your question.
Hi, Mahima.
Hi.
Good evening. I'm Palash Datta, an actor and a casting director. We have met before.
Yes.
So, first and foremost, I think you're so graceful. My eyes are moist because I started my journey as an actor way back as a model in 1994.
Oh.
So, I could relate to your journey, how it was back then. I've been nearly 3 decades in the industry as an actor, and I recently turned a producer. So, my question to you is. The dynamics of acting has changed, right? Back then, there were no bound scripts. We were given, there was no character sketch, there were no character descriptions. Director would come, हाँ ये scene है ये आपको अपने हिसाब से करना है, जो corrections करना है मैं करवा दूंगा. So what I want to ask you here is, in today's day and age, in the West and even now in Bollywood, people are resorting to workshops. So, as an actor of the 90s, and of course you're relevant today as well, I think she needs a huge round of applause because she's so inspiring. My eyes are moist. You're so inspiring to me as well. So much of grit, so much of determination. So my question is, how do you take the workshop thing? As in, there are many actors who would say, "नहीं नहीं, हम audition नहीं देंगे, हम look test." Because I've faced that many a times when I do casting jobs.
Sure.
And actors who have just not done much work. So, what would you say on that, ma'am? Thank you.
I did enjoy the workshops. We had one for Nadania, and both me and Sunil Shetty were like, wow, this is great. And we normally got the dialogues on set after we had done makeup. And Sunil joked and said, sometimes तो हमें script shooting के बाद मिलती थी कि अब तुम last में मर जाओगे. You know? अच्छा मेरी death हो रही है इस film में. So yeah, we had those kind of things then. But I enjoyed the workshops. I thought, it gives you more control, and I could also think that, I have this part and these two are my important scenes, and so I need to concentrate on that. Whereas when we were shooting, I didn't know where I'm going to put in an effort, what I can do, that kind of thing.
Right.
I did?
Yeah.
You didn't recognize me.
Cool. Great. Thank you guys for the questions. Wonderful questions. Thank you, Mahima, for everything, and thank you for coming.